What's up, guys? It's LooNiE here, and welcome back to another episode of the Angle Chaser's Guide. Shut up, Facebook, before I punch you in your face. I don't know if you guys heard that. Probably didn't, because I think this is pre-recorded. It is pre-recorded. Why do I say I think? Because I just did it. Duh. Anyway, this is me drifting with my new wheel. I got a webcam, so you guys can now see that in the bottom left. It's actually a 1080p webcam, but for some reason, Marillis doesn't record it in widescreen. It records it as a square, which I find really weird, but you know, the webcam's there so you can see my wheel movements and such. But in this episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to do backwards entries. This is going to be a long episode, mainly because there isn't a lot to backwards entries. On some tracks, it has to do with when you dump the clutch and throttle control. This track is having to do with both. You got to dump the clutch at the right point, and sometimes that point will change depending on how far backwards you go. But let me just start off by saying the easiest way to do a backwards entry on this track. This is a great track to learn on. It's not too wide. It's not too tight. And you can margin this straight away and just throw it in. So it's a great track to learn on. So the way I do it is I full throttle through my transitions all the way down the straight, because this car makes me have to full throttle. This is the SP Mod 32, by the way. This car, if you don't full throttle the transition, it'll snap and it'll spin out. So I have my wheel there. If so you have to full throttle the transitions, but if you can full throttle the transitions, please do it. It actually makes you go faster through your transitions, makes them makes them link better depending on how your car is tuned. Mine's made to do that, but as you guys just saw there, I actually turn into the transition. I flick my wheel back the other way. I don't let it like hit the stopper for lock. I kind of catch it before it gets there, and then the whole time it's doing that, I'm holding the clutch in, and it's all about timing for real when you're doing backwards entries. Dumping the clutch is a big part to me when I do backwards entries. If I do it at the wrong time, I'll spin. If I do it at the wrong if I do it if I do it too early, I'll spin. If I do it too late, I'll grip up. So it's all about timing when it comes to doing backwards entries, especially with the clutch. If you dump it at the right point, you'll come out of it perfect and hit the clips and do everything right. But a lot of times, if you're just starting to do backwards entries, or if you're watching this trying to learn, you're going to have trouble doing it. Because a lot of times, I can predict you guys will be flicking your wheels too hard, you'll turn into it too much, and you just spin out instantly. It's a finesse game when it comes to backwards entries. If you don't do it right, you're going to spin. Or 360 or whatever. But as I said, there's not a lot to it. That's really all there is to it. You flick it and hope for the best. That's what backwards entries are. There's nothing more to really explain. I mean, I don't know what else I could add in. I mean, you guys are seeing the drifting here. You see the wheel movements. You see me turning into it and then flicking it back the other way. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, that's it. It's going to take a lot of practice. It's not going to come to you right off the bat, unless you're already a pretty good drifter. It's not going to come to you right off the bat. It's probably going to take, I would say, let's see, my first backwards entry I ever did in rFactor, it was about a week after I started drifting in rFactor. It was the first backwards entry I ever pulled off, so doing it in rFactor is definitely not the easiest thing to do, but if you have realistic tires and a good tune, it definitely makes it easier. Tuning wise, you want to have enough understeer to be pulling those kinds of angles back, but you don't want to have too much to where you're gripping up all the time, just drifting around the corner. It's all like it's tuning is all personal preference, really. But basically what I just said about understeer is how I like to tune my cars, and I like them to be smooth around everything, but with enough understeer to pull back some ridiculous angles. Personally, this 32 has a bit more understeer than I would like it to have, but it needs it. For what? I'm not exactly sure, but I know it needs it, so I left it in there. That's a good backwards entry there that I pull out of it. A little straightened on the end, but that was a good entry. But the video is actually coming to a close. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. I hope the webcams help you guys out with this sort of stuff, and from now on, all Angle Chaser's Guide videos will have a webcam. I don't know how I'm going to do the mic thing, though, because if I do like a live commentary, then there's like a rumbling thing. But if you guys like the video, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more tutorials and stuff. So thank you guys for watching. See ya.